Okay. Hello everyone. So today's video is going to be about sleep problems as a schizophrenic. Now this only goes for people who have schizophrenia or people who have symptoms like schizophrenia. Now there's a whole bunch of different reasons how a person with schizophrenia has sleep problems. Myself, for example, I've had sleep problems my entire life because I've had this illness for most of my entire life. And nowadays, I'm not really too much affected by sleep problems. I can sleep perfectly fine. Hold on. Mainly because I've been on Seroquel for about 4 years now. Now, anyone who doesn't really know what Seroquel is, it's a, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they put me on it because I have sleeping problems, and I think that's the main reason they put me on it, because I was on like 5 different antipsychotics before I actually got put on Seroquel. So they put me on Seroquel, and I'm not really used to a medication affecting me as soon as I take it, or 30 minutes to an hour. I don't really see much of a difference. But then when I was on Seroquel, and I was in the hospital when they put me on Seroquel. I was in the mental hospital for the 3rd time, and they put me on it, and I was like, okay, I mean, this medication's probably gonna suck just like the rest of them. And what Seroquel does, it's like a sleep medication. It's an antipsychotic that helps you sleep. I don't know what's in it. That makes you sleep. But basically, it just knocks you the fuck out. It knocks you out. It's like a tranquilizer. Like most antipsychotics, so that's how they started. And it just like... it's like a sleep medication, and I got really lucky that it actually works for me. I got really lucky. So I took about 30 minutes to an hour. I can't keep my eyes open. I cannot keep my eyes open whatsoever, so I'm just sitting there like, what the hell? This is weird. I don't know what's happening to me. Is this the medication? That's what I was thinking. I was like, is this the medication, or is this just like how I'm feeling really weird all of a sudden? So basically it just knocks you out, and you can't. So I have no sleep problems now because of it. Sometimes even when I do take the medication, it does make me really tired to where I can't keep my eyes open. But if my symptoms are worse, or if my symptoms are bad, I'm hallucinating voices, I can't sleep. Sometimes when I take the medication, I can't sleep at all, but most of the time I don't really have sleep problems. Now, there are like so many things with schizophrenia that can cause you not to sleep. So me, for example, you got hallucinations, visual hallucinations. Can't sleep sometimes because of those, because you're terrified. You don't really want to sleep when you're hallucinating. And you got auditory hallucinations. That's just annoying. Something's always just like in your fucking ear, talking, consistently talking. Sometimes I can't sleep because of that. A lot of people can't sleep because of that. Then you have paranoia, and then you have paranoia and delusions. I'll just put those two in the same category. To where for me, I am always paranoid, or I'm delusional that someone's going to try to kill me, someone's going to be in my house, someone is in my house, and someone is coming to kill me or harm me in any way possible. And then sometimes you just can't sleep at all. Now, it's a little bit, it's just a strange thing. Now me, I've never been able to, ever since I was young, I could never sleep. When I started first hallucinating, when I was probably around 5 or 6 years old, I couldn't sleep. For probably about 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years, I would sleep with blankets over my face. I would put them over my face all the way. I would make sure my legs are tucked in, my arms, everything tucked into that. And I would sleep like that. The whole night I would sleep with the blankets over my face and everything, so I felt a little bit safer. I felt a little bit safer so I could sleep. And I've been like that I was like that at 5, 6 years old. I know kids usually they have problems sleeping. I think I'm not too sure. I don't really know for a normal kid, or I don't know of what a normal kid goes through. I just know what I went through as a kid. I don't know if any other people have experienced that type of thing with sleep. But I always, and I had to sleep with my parents' room for a long time. Because I was just deathly terrified my entire life of hallucinations, paranoia, delusions, and I'm still dealing with that. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. Now I sleep so much better. I sleep. I don't have too many problems with sleep, and but a lot of the time, it's just paranoia and delusions. I had that problem yesterday, probably because I didn't take my medication for a day. I was terrified that someone was in my house, or someone's going to try to kill me. And I don't have a lock on my door, so it makes it a lot harder for me to feel safe. So I have a chair. Oh, well, hold on. I think you can see it. That chair right there where my beautiful cat is. And I put it under the door, so I feel a little bit more safe. It doesn't completely just go away. It's still there. Someone can easily just break it down, so making whatever. And then I had the thought that my parents are going to try to kill me. Now, obviously, and if you're thinking logically and rationally, well, for myself, my parents would not kill me. They would not harm me in any way possible. But there's always that delusion in my mind that they are going to kill me. So I have to worry about that. And then I have to worry about me being home alone and someone breaking into my house. Now, a lot of the time, if I am about to sleep, I always have this delusion that someone is actually in my house. So what I usually do is I walk around, I look everywhere, and I act as if I know they're in my house. And I act as if I'm going to try to, I want that person or whoever it is to know that I know they're in my house. So maybe they would come out or something. And that's the delusion of someone, that's the delusion that someone is, that I'm just delusional. Or I might not be delusional. You know, you can't really take those chances, or you can't take those risks of not knowing, you know. So I look through my entire house. And every single place in my house, I look around it, look at it, I look everywhere, make sure no one's there. But then the delusion still doesn't go away. I still think that that person or whoever it is still in my house. Or I could have a hallucination of a person or whoever it is, and think that they're in my house, or they're talking to me saying they're going to kill me, or I'm going to die somehow by them, that hallucination. And that itself is terrifying. Now, a lot of people who have schizophrenia, a lot of them have a lot of trouble sleeping. And even if, let's say, I didn't have schizophrenia, or let's say, or how should I word this? No, I can't word that way. But I would have sleep problems. I have sleep problems even without any if you don't add any symptoms up to schizophrenia. Like, you take all the symptoms off the board. What is that? The hell? It looks like a scratch, but it's not. I thought it was a scratch because I saw it. It's from my chair. What the hell? Okay, but anyways, I still would have sleep problems no matter what. You know, I have sleep problems no matter what, because I'm up, let's see, I'm, for the past 4 or 5 years, I stay up about 24 to 28 hours every single day. And that's a long ass time for someone to be up. I'm up that long because I hate sleeping. I look at sleeping as like the biggest waste of time. And so I don't sleep. Obviously, as a human, we need to sleep, or our bodies are just not working properly. And I just hate sleeping because I feel like I'm not achieving anything. If I don't sleep in a day, it's because I feel like I didn't achieve anything, or I didn't achieve as much as I usually do. What I like to do in a day is learn as much as I possibly can across a lot of different categories of knowledge or whatever. I try to learn as much as I can in a day, and if I don't do that, then I don't feel like I should sleep. And that's probably going to kill me someday, because sometimes I'll be up for a couple days. The longest I've probably been awake was probably for 3 to 4 days, but that was probably at my worst when I wasn't on medication at all. And it's just rough having this illness, because it's always trying to deceive you. The illness in your brain is always trying to deceive you into thinking something or another. And I've always had problems with that, but nowadays I'm doing much better with sleep. I don't really have too many problems. But I know a lot of schizophrenics have a lot of problems. And myself, I think I have ADD or ADHD also. I know a lot of people who have schizophrenia, they develop ADHD or ADD. At least that's what I heard from I don't know who I heard it from, actually. But I think the illness, it kind of makes you have ADHD or whatever, because your brain's always doing this. You can't keep your mind focused on one thing. For me, I have to keep my mind focused on like 10 to 15 things, or a couple, well, that's over exaggerating, like 5 things at once. Or I get bored if I'm doing something really fast, whatever. I don't know where I'm going with this, but and the most scary thing that I experienced, that I used to have a lot, is while sleeping, I would wake up constantly to voices, or I would wake up to screaming in my ears. And it sounds as real as it would sound if you were hearing just someone else, another person scream. It's about when you're hallucinating, your auditory hallucinating, or you're hearing voices. It's about just as real as a normal person or a real human being would be sounding. Sometimes it might be a little faint, sometimes it might be a little different. So you can kind of tell what it is. And when I sleep, I would wake up to that. And I used to wake up to that all the time. I would sit up real fast, like holy shit. And it would continue. The screaming would continue for at least 5 to 10 seconds, maybe even 15 seconds. And it's probably one of the most terrifying things that I deal with while having this illness. And that's one part I don't like. And then you can't go back to sleep because of it. And then I don't know what kind of category people fit into who have sleep what is it? God damn it. It's when you wake up, you can't move. Why the fuck can I think of it? Well, I did just wake up not too long ago, so my brain doesn't work properly when I first wake up. Whatever. I can't think of it. I don't know why. I know what you guys know. I know what you know what I'm trying to talk about. Is waking up and I can't move and shit like that. That's another thing. I don't know what kind of category that fits into. I don't know if it just affects mentally ill people or whatever. But I would have that, and I used to have that quite often. I haven't had it in a while, because it's one of the most annoying things to deal with. So people who have schizophrenia, obviously your sleep's going to be really, really, really messed up. And I've been dealing with that ever since my whole life. But Seroquel has definitely helped me, like so much. If I've suggested people to be on Seroquel before, sometimes it doesn't really work for other people, but I've been on a lot of different antipsychotics. I'm actually really annoyed right now because I need to look up what it's called. When you wake up and can't move. Sleep paralysis. There we go. I didn't even see it. Like, I didn't actually see the word. It just like randomly hit me. Alright, but sleep paralysis is another thing. I don't know if it just categorizes into mentally ill people or not. But yeah. I don't know what else I should talk about. What other things fit into the thing as schizophrenia and problems with sleeping? I think that's pretty much it. The longest I've been up was a few days, 4 days. But Seroquel really, really, really helps so much. Always need my nicotine. I actually really need to quit smoking. Smoking is probably one of the worst things ever. But at least I vape now instead of smoking cigarettes, because cigarettes are really awful for you. But anyways, I think that's about it for this video. Just wanted to kind of share my experiences with sleeping, and what kind of shit I have to deal with when I am trying to sleep. And it happens every night. You know, it happens every night. I either hallucinate, or I'm delusional, paranoid. Most of the time I'm always paranoid. I'm always paranoid, and I'm always delusional. Always. Like, it never just goes away fully. It's always there. And I always say all the time, paranoia and delusional thinking is always, it's worse than hallucinating. Because I deal with hallucinations. I used to deal with hallucinations all the time. It's not really as bad as it used to be. I can deal with it much better than I used to. And so it's not always so bad. But paranoia and delusions are kind of just always there, hitting me constantly, just hitting me. It's always something new too. It's always something, or it could always be the same thing, or just something different. And it's hard to just get your mind off it. You can't get your mind off it because you can't get satisfied enough for it to go away. So it's just kind of shitty. And ever since I was 5-6 years old, I would just be terrified. I would be hallucinating. I'd be terrified. I always have the blankets over my head. And that's how it's always been. Thankfully, I don't do that anymore because I'm an adult. I don't sleep with the blankets over my. But I do sleep with the light on. Always have, always will probably. Terrified. I'm terrified of the dark. Yeah. So that's about it for this video. I hope everybody enjoyed. If you want to follow me on, if you want to like the video, it helps a lot. If you want to subscribe, I make videos every week. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, all my social medias will be down in the description below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. I don't want to say that. But anyways, everybody, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next week. I'll probably be streaming tonight, maybe. So if you want to watch me stream, that link's in the description down below too. Bye, everybody.